Hi guys, welcome along to another episode of the Cosmic Clinic, where for each feature we bring you guests from around the world. The last four actually have been from right here in the UK, and we talk all things music industry experience, and hopefully you guys can take away some key tips and insights that will help you further your career. So today it's an absolute pleasure to join Matt Jones in the Cosmic Clinic. How are you, Matt?
Doing great, thank you very much.
Good. Here to collect an order for the Kooks today.
Yes, and you turned around very quickly, which is excellent.
Good.
Excellent service.
Good. Let us know where you've been in the industry, who you've worked with, just a bit of background about yourself.
Yeah, so I've been doing this almost 30 years now, not quite. So I left university when I was 21, so that's 1993. Mm-hmm. I did a course in Salford called Professional Sound Recording and Video Technology.
Right.
And that was I think it was one of the first courses that did sound, and it was definitely the first year of that course because it was chaos. It wasn't very good.
Right.
That was no one watching,
sure
and the teachers watching. Yeah, it's loads better now, a long time ago. And so I left there and did a load of work for free and work experience, and then sort of got working with local companies, and then sort of took up a freelance role with Mugam Acoustics. Mm-hmm. And then from 2000 to 2010, I sort of toured the world with bands as Radiohead and Björk, as looking after their engineers and setting up orchestras, mm-hmm. and quite a few boy bands and girl bands as well in arenas, flying the PA. And then after 2010, I sort of started working for a few bands direct and sort of specialising in monitor engineer. Mm-hmm. And then sort of recently I've sort of moved into production as well, but still keeping up some of the monitor role.
Fantastic, yeah. So you've had a colourful career so
far. It's
far.
Been great. I've been really fortunate. A lot of right place, right time moments, and I've been very lucky.
That's quite a consistent theme actually for the guests that we've had. They talk about right place, right time. Yep. Grafting comes up as well. You know, working hard and
totally.
No, it is.
That's important because it is an antisocial job.
Yeah. Let's talk in-ear monitors.
Yep.
Now, viewers watching this feature might not know what an in-ear monitor is.
Yep.
They see them all the time, their favourite bands and artists on stage, thinking, why is that earpiece? You know, so if you were to explain an in-ear monitor to someone that didn't know what they were, what essentially is it in a nutshell?
I guess it's just like your general floor monitor, but in your ears. And I guess if you go back a step, you create a personal mix for the person on stage who is playing an instrument, along with a load of other people playing instruments, and you make sure they can hear themselves correctly, and I sort of taper their personal mix to what they want.
Yeah.
I think that's the...
Yes, good explanation for it, yeah. It's a good time to go to the next question where we go back 20 years, even 30 years. Let's talk about how it's changed, because you talk about wedges. Again, for someone viewing this that might not know what a wedge is, front of the stage, feels on the side of the
monitor,
stage.
Floor speaker.
Yeah, and that allows them essentially to hear the music over the crowd noise and without any delays.
Yeah, because obviously the mix that the other guy at the end of the multi-core does, it's not ideal for the guys to hear on stage, because they always want themselves a little bit louder than the rest of the band, and obviously the public don't want to just hear the bass guitar.
Yeah, sure, and obviously with a stage monitor, wedge monitor, they're loud.
They are loud, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, the benefits of using a custom in-ear monitor is that the artist doesn't have to have it so loud, and they're protecting their hearing.
Protecting their hearing, consistency as well. Generally, every show should sound the same because they're sealed from the outside, and obviously you still hear through your skull. Mm-hmm. But if the seal is good on your ears, then you should be able to have the same experience whatever show you do, wherever you are in the world. As long as you pay a good monitor engineer.
Yeah, of course. And your number is?
Yeah. So you flash it up across the screen with my phone
we can arrange for that, yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. So over the last 30 years you've been in the game, you must have seen some big changes then.
Very much so. I think the biggest change, obviously technology has advanced amazingly, is that people specialise more nowadays. But 30 years ago, you sort of did everything. You had to do everything. You could do everything because it wasn't a specialist. So just things like networking, prediction software for flying PAs. It's a specialist job now, whereas in those days you flew the PA, you mixed the gig, you plugged everything in, and there weren't many computers to use to network things together. So you just had to know about everything, whereas nowadays it's really specialised, and it's a long time since I put a PA in the air and used the predictive software, so I'm not sure I could still do that.
Yeah.
And similarly, some of the way you connect things together via networks nowadays, I haven't got a clue. So there's a specialised job for people.
Sure.
And I also, I guess, technology, if we're turning it around to the in-ear way forward, that wouldn't have been possible many years ago, because you would have had a big, massive set of headphones. That would have been ideal for running around a stage with.
And I suppose the in-ears have advanced as well, haven't they, over the years?
The circuitry is making it smaller and smaller. So you can fit more things inside your ear hole.
Totally, yeah. That's what we pride ourselves on, actually, is a smaller custom in-ear. But talking about in-ears themselves and being smaller and comfortable, for emerging talent, musicians and artists, would you recommend using customs?
100%. I guess the problem is it depends on what arena you're doing, and if you don't necessarily have everything mic'd up, and you have a full set of moulded ears in, then you can struggle hearing other things. So I guess that's when you maybe look at generics or thinking about a way of making it work. But it's always the way. I feel that gone are the days of floor monitors for if you want to perform night in, night out without destroying your hearing, and it's definitely the best way forward.
Great bit of advice. Going back to fills and floor wedges, you must have in your career had a time where there's been something gone really wrong with them.
Well, I guess the main thing for the disadvantage, one of the other disadvantages of them is they colour all the microphones. So I do a band called Pixies, that American band, and done it for like 14, 15 years, and they used to have, before they got in-ear monitors, for some reason they liked having the monitors behind them, facing forward.
Into the mic.
I'm sure it was the lighting guy whispering in their ear, it looks great if your monitors are behind you. So it didn't block any views, but it just threw into all of the microphones. And the moment we persuaded them to go into in-ear monitors, the front of house guy was just having a party, because it's just so loud.
Yeah. And what about in-ear monitors? Occasions where they've gone wrong?
Well, one example is we were in rehearsals with the Kooks, and I'd just taken over, so I wasn't aware of the whole situation of what they had spares wise. And in the first rehearsal, the guitarist Hugh broke his main set, he put his spare set in, and there was an intermittent fault with those as well. So they went wrong. I phoned you guys up, and then 48 hours later I'm here picking up a set. A fabulous service, really great.
Oh, thank you, appreciate that. And I wasn't looking for that either.
And also I've never really known to go wrong during shows. It's just cables pulling out, and the biggest issue with them is generally is the RF side, which has nothing to do with you guys. It's the radio stuff.
Yeah, of course, yeah. On the subject of the Kooks, you're currently mixing for them?
Yes, we're just embarking on a UK and Europe tour.
Fantastic.
Which is 15 years since their first album, so it's just sort of celebrating that. So it's
gone so quickly, that, hasn't it?
I know, it has, but I've done 2 shows so far and 2 mixer rehearsals, and it's really good bunch of guys, great music, and I remember learning the songs. It's like, I actually know most of these already. It's surprising how many you know.
Sure, yeah. And how do the guys, or what kind of mix do the guys like?
From what I've gathered so far, it's all pretty standard and what you'd expect, sort of their own instruments slightly louder than the general mix of everyone else lying underneath. It's a joy to mix.
Yeah, great. You've got a diverse career as well, and one of the things that stand out for me, and one of my loves, is Hacienda Classical.
Oh yes.
That must be something else. I mean, there's a lot of going on there.
Certainly, I think we've been going for 6 years now.
Yeah.
And I remember the first show we did we did 2 nights at Bridgewater Hall, and it was just awful. Not awful. I'm only to explain that, I guess. It was just
challenging.
From an audio wise, there's 55 people on stage, 40 of them on orchestra, in a not particularly great place for amplified music. So, and the crowd were just so loud that the lady in the front row shouting was louder than the violin microphone.
Oh, God.
So it was challenging, but we're in a really great place now where it's controlled, because everyone's on in-ear monitors and everything's close mic'd. And it sort of runs itself now, but it's taken 5 or 6 years to get there.
I know Parky, he's on Cosmics, isn't he?
He is on Cosmics, yeah. And Melanie Williams as well is on Cosmics.
And Melanie, of course, yeah.
And maybe Von Bison as well.
She did. She was in a couple of weeks ago.
There you go. Yeah,
she was in a couple of weeks ago. So
I should be on commission.
Yeah, you should. You should. Well, we'll take that off camera.
Yeah.
What's the most important feature for you on or in a Cosmic ear or custom in ear, should I say?
Yes, I would say that it's definitely to do with the fit.
Yeah.
Like ensuring the seal is correct. And I guess making sure it's comfortable as well, because it does take a bit to get used to them if you haven't worn them before.
Sure. Yeah.
I remember mine used to be really sore every time, but for some reason now they're fine. It just takes a little bit of time just to, because it's in your ear a long time, and sometimes 3 or 4 hours you've got it in there, so it's anything you put inside your ears for that long time is going to make it sore. But you just get used to them.
Yeah, we mentioned that to a lot of our customers who, for the first time, wear them, say the same thing, might feel a bit uncomfortable, but I think after 2 or 3 times,
you get used to it.
They do get better.
Like a new pair of shoes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, good analogy. Like it. And finally, for you, why Cosmic ears?
I'd always been searching for a UK solution, and because the American provider's great, but it just took so long to get anything sorted and done, and it just seemed to be really slow. So finding one in the UK, 15 minutes away from my house, 3 that listened to you when you asked for something, was a revelation.
Great. Yeah, great. Well, thank you, Matt.
Pleasure.
Appreciate all the words.
No problem.
And you for taking the time to be with us today. Wish you all the best with the Kooks tour.
Yeah.
And of course, moving forward with everything else as well. And look forward to seeing you at a gig soon.
Smashing.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys. You've been watching the Cosmic Clinic. And massive thank you to Matt Jones for taking the time with us today. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel as well. And if you've got any questions at all, please don't hesitate to be in touch with us. Cheers, guys.